Make sure everything is aligned. Okay. Let me go to Twitter. Make sure the people know where to go. All right. All right. Pin this to the profile. And then we are ready. All right. All right. Cool. Turn this shit down. All right. Pay for play. We in the building. Little road game for your boy. Sam's at home. You know what I'm saying? We didn't come inebriated or extremely hungover, so that's a benefit for all of you lovely people. But thank y'all for watching. If y'all would please go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube at Win the Day TV. Follow us on Twitter as well at Paid for Play. Please, if you want to see your comments right here on the screen, please go ahead and go to YouTube and catch the show. For everybody on Twitter, we can see the comments, but we just can't post the comments. So if you want to have your comments posted, again, please check us out on YouTube. We'll be able to put your stuff up. Give us your best bets. Give us how you're feeling. It's week 8. All right. The dogs are off. We have a big matchup in Jack's, waiting for the cocktail party. Got to build our tolerance a little bit, you know what I'm saying, and other things. But Brock is hurt. Oh, you're on mute. Yeah.
I was going to say, do you want to go ahead and get to it now?
Yeah, I mean, look, man. Brock is hurt. If you were living under a college football rock, he had what is it called? Tightrope surgery? I don't even know. I'm not a doctor, y'all. Okay.
I don't know why I don't know if it's just a different position, but Tua fucking had that in 2019, and he played 2 weeks after.
Yeah, but I don't know what the severity of it is. You know, everybody's body recovers and reacts to injuries differently. Brock is
But
a
that
tough
shouldn't.
guy though.
The surgery should negate like the severity of the ankle sprain, but like the recovering from the surgery part is gonna be.
Yeah,
I guess
that's
we'll just wait to see. I don't know why they're like. He's not gonna sit out. I don't think he's that kind of. I don't think he's gonna do that. The team is primed for another championship. Like they're in the hunt. Um, if he can leave with 3 championships, why wouldn't he? Like, why would he want to sit out and hurt his team's chances? And then on top of that, I don't know why everyone's acting like he's not going to be back until the playoffs. Like, maybe misses Florida. I'd say he's at least back by Tennessee, like at the latest, I would think.
Yeah, I would think so too. I mean, at least even if it's in a little bit of a relaxed role, he's might not probably going to get the touches that he would if this was a regular Tennessee game where he was healthy or had some nagging injuries, as all football players do at the end of the season. But I mean, it is what it is. I'm not really concerned with the games we have without him. Tennessee and Missouri kind of do scare me a little bit, but I think for the most part, we own Mizzou at Athens, so I'm not too scared about that one. Tennessee is a weird one because I think their stadium is cursed. If you know me, you know that's my steez on their stadium. If you go and look back at all the devastating injuries that have happened at Neyland Stadium, you'll understand why I'm a little bit scared, especially Georgia injuries. Okay, we get those really bad end of the season injuries at Neyland Stadium, so it's kind of bad. But all in all, I'm not too stressed. Kirby said in his press conference, they asked him, well, what is your confidence level on thinking that Brock will come back this year? And, he just basically said, like, he's not answering that. All right. It would be very speculative of him to answer that. I agree with him. All right. I don't really think that there's a need to rush him back or try to get him back when he is clearly going through a ankle surgery. So we'll see what happens, but I think the off week does help us a little bit. If we were after the bye, I'd be a little bit more scared of what you were saying, Sam, of not seeing him again this year. But at the end of the day, bro, I'm not too concerned. Okay. I'm not. So we'll go ahead and get the show rolling for today. Again, if you just joined in, please join us on YouTube so we can see your comments. Please drop them so we can see how y'all feeling today. But we're going with a talk it out. All right. As soon as the show starts. So that's how you know the slate is it's a narrow road. It's a little tricky this week. And we'll start with the Utes going to LA to the Coliseum. Obviously, USC got handed a beatdown last week to their rival. Caleb Williams probably had his worst game, not only of his season, but of his college career. Didn't really see much from him, was making mistakes, turning the ball over. Just wasn't good. Okay. And they're coming up against another really good defense this week in Utah. Me and Sam were saying before we started this, just a good football team. Okay. Well coached. They got the trenches, they got the defense. But they did lose to Oregon State. Okay. So we don't know what's going to happen. This is a Talk It Out segment. If you're not familiar, Talk It Out is a segment where you're with your friends. You don't know how to bet a certain game. So you simply got to talk it out. So, Sam, give me all of your reasons for Utah. I know you were kind of more on Utah and what they can do more than USC, and then I'll respond with my USC points.
It's pretty simple for me. Caleb Williams hasn't played well in his career against top 25 defenses. Surprisingly, last week was actually one of his best outings against his top 25 defense. I mean, with how bad he played, like that was a little bit surprising to me. Going back to Oregon State last year on the road, 44% completion percentage, 180 yards. Going back to Oklahoma days, like his highest percentage against a top 25 defense completion percentage was 51%. He struggles against these top 25 defenses, and I think Utah is going to be the best defense they play this year. And on the offensive side, you're not going to get Cam Rising back. They're talking about medically redshirting him. I'm not really sure what's going to happen with him. I don't think he's playing today. So, but USC's defense, like Utah is going to be able to move the line of scrimmage. They're going to be able to run the ball, which is exactly what they're going to want to do against USC. And that's kind of where I'm at on it. Like it feels like too big of a number. Just like I think they're trying to get people to, or it doesn't feel like too big of a number. I guess it feels like they're trying to bait you into betting USC like in a bounce back spot. But Utah's had their number, man. Like they've gone shootout. They've won in shootouts with Cam. And then I think this year that's going to be a little bit more low scoring. They're going to try to control the clock and keep away from Caleb and rely on the defense to get some stops, which I think they'll be able to do.
Yeah, I definitely feel you on that. I would be in agreement with that for the most part. Like I said, defensively, Utah always gives USC a little bit of trouble over the last couple of years. I guess if I'm going on a USC side, I'm looking at Caleb. I'm looking at give me the backup's name for Utah again. It's escaping me.
Nate Johnson.
Nate Johnson, yes. If you're looking at those two quarterbacks, one's going to go first overall for sure, and one might not even go to the NFL. So that would be, I guess, what you're relying on. Obviously, like we said, Caleb had a terrible game last week. He would want to bounce back from that, obviously. And if it does turn into a shootout late into the game, it might fare well for USC if Caleb is not turning the ball over, of course. But that's an if, okay? Like you said, I haven't been the most confident in him really all year because, yes, while he has looked great in flashes, the defense is just not that good. And I'm not saying they're facing an offensive juggernaut, but I'm just saying that I need to see a little bit more defensively for me to definitively take this 7. I think it's at 7.5 now in some places. So I mean, it's give or take.
Honestly, Caleb really hasn't played well this season. He's not nearly played as well as he did last year. Like I was listening to a podcast earlier this week. He has, I think last year he had like 40-some big time throws, and only in the low teens and turnover worthy throws. And this year he only has like, I think it was 9 big time throws and 20 something turnover worthy plays. Like he's putting the ball on the ground, he's fumbling, he's throwing interceptions, which he hasn't shown. It seems like he's sleepwalking. Like he's just trying to get to the draft.
Yeah.
And now you got all these rumors and stuff that he wants ownership and whoever drafts him, which is fucking insane to ask for. Like, I mean, come on. Like that I refuse to believe that unless I hear it come out of his mouth. Like that can't be true.
Yeah, man. Like I said on my Twitter, if he needs a hater, just ask me. Like I'll hate. Like, you know what I'm saying? This me and Sam have no issue in hating on you. Okay. That's just like you said, a ridiculous ask in general. But in terms of this game, I couldn't take the 7 with either side, to be honest with you. I can see there being a world where USC does pull it out at the end, like I said, because of the quarterback play. But I can't take it and be confident and give it out to the people. So I'm looking at the total of 51. I'm thinking it's a possibility, but I'm leaning more towards the under, to be honest with you, because I think defensively, Utah will be able to get a couple of stops. They'll be able to show him a couple of looks where, like you said, he's been sleepwalking. It's not like he's been on his game, on his grind. And I mean, I can't blame him so much because you're going first overall, barring, the apocalypse. So there's nothing really for you to show or prove yet, or still, should I say. So I don't know, man. If I don't have an official play on this game, bro. I have like maybe a lean to the under, but I'm not confident because it's taking a USC under. It's kind of like taking a UNC under. It's like it's probably
Or an
not gonna
LSU
happen.
under.
What do you say?
Or an LSU under.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like the offense is gonna work eventually, maybe, possibly. So
Look,
I don't have anything confident on either side here, but my lean would be the under. Do you got anything?
I told you yesterday, I mean, I'm not the kind of person that is going to be a little cautious after a good week. We had a great week last week, so we're heat checking this week.
Okay.
I got Utah +7. I feel like it's the right play. Like you said, a little slower game, maybe under. If it's under, I think it's definitely Utah. Like that's the play. If this turns into a shootout, I don't think Nate Johnson can keep up. But yeah, I'm leaning under. I think that's how the game's going to go until USC shows me they can actually compete with these upper echelon Pac-12 teams. I'm going to lean with the better defense.
Yeah, totally. I definitely feel you on that. So we'll see what happens. That is an 8 p.m. kick. So if you guys want to wait and get those picks in, you know what I'm saying, you can wait, see what lines change. I'm waiting on a Zachariah Branch prop, so I'm gonna possibly tweet that out on Pay for Play. Follow us at Pay for Play. He didn't have that many touches last week. I think they're definitely gonna try to get him the ball and make something of it. So that would probably be my most confident play. But I'm trying to wait and see where the line comes out at. So be tuned to our Twitter for that one. But we'll keep it rolling. We'll go to Tallahassee. The Dukies. Obviously, a heart-crushing loss a couple of weeks ago. Riley Leonard is a game-time decision. I didn't know if he was going to play at all again this year with the injury that he had. Like, that was one of those brutal ankle injuries where if you've played football before, you might have had one of those, and they do not feel good at all. Trust me, they don't. But the thing is, Florida State is undefeated in this matchup against the Dukies. They're at the crib. I think I could see a pathway for the Dukies to win. 14 is a big number, though, in terms of the spread. So for this one, Sam, how are you feeling? Because this one could have been a talk it out, too. We got a lot of potential talk it outs.
Yeah. The Leonard injury hurts me, or like it makes me feel not confident at all in taking a Duke side, because he's gonna whenever he's playing his best, it's whenever he's able to run the ball. And with that ankle injury, I don't know that he's going to be able to run the ball very well. And this is a great defensive front that they're playing. Florida State has good skill in the back end of the defense too. I understand it's I didn't know that Florida State was undefeated in this matchup. Like, no slip ups at all is kind of impressive.
Yeah.
But there's a stat that I heard earlier this week that is Mike Elko in his time at Duke hasn't lost a game outside of one possession. Like, every game that they've lost has been one possession. So that makes me a little nervous. But I would lean Florida State. I don't have an official play on this one. I think the offense will be able – I think it'll be kind of low scoring. Mike Elko's defense is always ready to play. I just don't know if Duke's going to be able to put up really anything on offense, especially if Leonard can't move. Like, that's just, it's not going to be a good time for him back in the pocket if he just has to sit back and throw, because like Florida State's got more skill. So I mean, Mike Elko is going to have the guys ready to play, but still, I'd lean Florida State here, but no official plays for me on this one.
Yeah, I feel you. I mean, they got their team total at 16.5, which that's minus 125 for the over on my book. So, I mean, there's potential that they could hit it. I mean, I just don't know. There's not a full vote of confidence when you don't know if your quarterback is going to play, and especially if he's going to be hampered by injury, even if he does play and not going to be his true self. I don't know. I'm just not confident in it. And then we're looking at Florida State. Do they run the ball that well? Not really, but they do have some situations where their play caller turns into a bozo. Okay. I
don't know why they can't run the ball. They have they have a really good offensive line, and they have a great running back. Like, I don't know how they can't run the ball. Jordan Travis is a little mobile. He's not like Jaden Daniels or anything where he's like he looks to run all the time, but he can move. I mean, he can get out of the pocket. They should be able to run the ball in this.
Yeah, I get it. I don't know what happens. I just don't know. But like I said, I looked up the official number. FSU is 21-0 in this matchup. So the numbers are not on our side if you're going for Duke. But the 14, like I said, is still a big number for a Florida State team that, yes, while they're in the college football playoff at the moment, they haven't had a whole bunch of convincing wins against teams that I think they're better than. So I would be leaning stay away on this one and watch it and have fun. But, if you want to bet it, bet it. I think, the 31.5 for Florida State's team total is very possible. While Duke's defense, I think, is good. I don't know if they've had to deal with these level of weapons. Yes, Notre Dame did have some success against them, but I think this is kind of a different animal that they're about to face. So if anything, I would lean to the team total over 31.5. That's even money, but none official for me. Anything for you, Sam?
Yeah, no, nothing on this one. Yeah, I won't be really able to watch too many of the night games. One of my best man for my wedding's getting engaged tonight. Shout out to him. So we'll be celebrating with him, but not too much on the night slate for me.
Okay, for sure. Well, we'll keep it pushing then back to our neck of the woods. I guess Tallahassee's in our neck of the woods, but to really our neck of the woods. The cigar game, the good old cigar game. As a Georgia fan, this is going to be, win-win for me. I mean, if Alabama loses, I get to hear their fan base say it's over, be in front of Nick Saban's house. This will be the second season in a row with 2 losses. So that's not going to be good for them. But if, Tennessee, happens to lose, then all we got to do is really beat them. With Mizzou kind of falling out of the opportunity to win the SEC East, all we got to do is beat Tennessee. Obviously win out, but I think that will be one of the, if not the most difficult game on the schedule. And I had a homie who on Twitter, shout out to my boy Cliff. He was saying that he wants to take Tennessee with the points because Alabama struggled against Arkansas and Alabama struggled against A&M, and Tennessee struggled against A&M for a little while too. But what I told him and what I thought was that if you're looking at A&M and you're looking at Arkansas, I think they have the receiving core to give this Bama club problems. Okay. Arkansas, while they don't have the greatest receivers, now listen to me, while they don't have the greatest receivers in the world, they got big, lanky bodies, all right, that can win some of those contested catches. KJ is an experienced quarterback, all right, no matter how you feel about him. I think he does have the type of composure to go into these big games and be able to keep it a little bit tight. Now, while Max Johnson is not that, and they did struggle against A&M as well, I think their receiving core did have the speed to, match up with these Bama DBs. I just don't like Bama's DBs, really. I really don't. I'm not a big fan of them. However, I'm not a fan of Tennessee's receivers either. I mean, Brew McCoy and those boys are all right, but I think this is a matchup that's more poised for the Alabama DBs to be able to have a good game. So my first official play of the day is going to be something that, me and Sam over the last 3 years have told y'all. It's written in the Bible, all right? Bama first half. Let me get the number for you. Let me see. Bama first half. Where are my 3:30 games? Here we go. It is -4.5. All right. So I'm going first half. I think they come out rolling. They got beat last year. Okay. They got rushed the field. They tore the goalpost down. They threw it in the Tennessee River. Saban's going to have them ready. All right. So I got Bama first half. I know it's not the same and it doesn't have the same conviction as it has had for the last 5 years, but I think they get it done this first half. So give me that 4.5 in the first half. Sam, how you feeling?
Tennessee plus 8.5, baby. Give it to me.
Okay.
I'm all in on the downfall. I cannot get how bad they've played out of my head for the last 2 weeks. It's not been good. I understand it's a tough environment on the road at A&M, and they were able to sneak out with a win, but boy, oh boy, did they put up a stinker last week at home against Arkansas. They made enough plays to win and get out with the win, but they can't run the ball, and they can't protect. And this offensive line, they touted it all offseason, it's bigger than every offensive line in the NFL. Shut up. Who cares? If they're not good, it doesn't matter. And they're not good. So I think Tennessee's defensive front is going to be able to control the line of scrimmage. And I think their offensive line might be able to as well. The offensive line is back to full strength. They're going to be able to run the ball. All we need is a couple. I do not trust Joe Milton, but I think him in the running game will be able to get Tennessee to score enough to keep it with them. I think Tennessee could win this game very easily. Alabama has not put teams away. They can't close teams out. So I don't know why. There's been people talking about Saban's going to run it up. How the fuck is he going to run it up? They can't run. They can't put anyone away, and their offense isn't good. Joe Milton's made some good throws under pressure, and that's the only time he's been able to make throws. All you got to do, honestly, I'd rush forward, drop 7, because the offensive line isn't going to hold up. And if you make him throw underneath, he's not a good quarterback. He's really not. Give me plus 8.5. I don't think this game gets outside of one possession.
Yeah, that's why I didn't take the full game, because 8.5 is a lot for a team in Alabama, like you said, that they really just haven't been convincing. I am a little bit scared because Joe Milton's probably going to play the best defense he's faced all year. I thought that might have been Florida's, but he handled that, even though, they lost the game. But I think he handled it a little bit better than I expected. But it's like you said, we've said this on the show before. Even when he does throw underneath, the issue is one, accuracy. Then the other issue is he's throwing 95-mile-per-hour four-seam fastballs at your receivers.
He's the same as Joe Milton.
Yeah.
They have no touch.
Yeah, none at all. And that's what really concerns me with these Bama DBs because, if these receivers are having balls hit them in the hands and their hands get took off and the ball's in the air, it's going to be a turnover this game. It's probably going to be a turnover. So I'm really feeling the fact that, like I said, Bama's ability to just play defense on the back end. I think that's all you need. Dallas Turner has showed up in spots, but he hasn't been the guy that I expected him to be this year. But I do think this is an opportunity for him to, do some wreckage. You saw A&M's defensive line get a couple of sacks back there. I think he'll be in the backfield a few times. So, yeah, that would be my only play for Bama to come out first half, be hot, start rolling. Tennessee make some adjustments maybe at the half and then come back and make it close and cover both of us for the 8.5 for you, then the 4.5 for me. So we'll see what happens. But like I said, as a Georgia fan, I'm sure you as a LSU fan, we're in heaven. We don't really have any issue with either of these teams losing at all.
No, and I'm itching for this matchup in 2 weeks.
Oh,
I cannot wait.
well, look.
They ain't stopping Jaden. That's a fact. Our defense just has to hold them under 30. It's over.
Yeah, look, I'm telling you, the next 2 weeks in college football, we're going to be we gotta have some special plan for y'all. We're definitely gonna have some guests and
showing up in our suits.
Yeah, man. That's why I said business is casual attire because when we do that, we mean business, ladies and gentlemen. All right. But we will slide over to one of the more quieter SEC matchups, more quietly interesting SEC matchups. South Carolina is going to Mizzou. Mizzou is a 7.5-point favorite. Shane Beamer, he broke his foot last week or something? Celebrating?
Yeah. No.
What happened with that?
He's pissed off. He kicked something in the locker room after the game, and it broke his foot. He's Michael Scott.
I just don't understand with these guys punching fire hydrants, punching walls, kicking chairs and tables. Like, I understand being mad. This is your life. You have prepared the entire year for this moment. Okay, I get it. Especially when your season is going like South Carolina's season is gone, which has been incredibly disappointing. Let me not understate that. It has been incredibly disappointing for them not to.
You gotta win. You gotta win that game last week. No excuse.
I mean,
no excuse.
And I'm glad we won on the over. It was like 21-21 at half. Like it was
over hit by like halftime.
Yeah, it was crazy. So with this matchup specifically, I think Missouri is going to offer a lot better defense this week for South Carolina, who, I mean, let's just be honest, like offensively, they've been okay, but they've only been really their best against bad defenses, which I don't think this fares well for this matchup. Brady Cook is good, but if you can take a Luther Burton prop, and I'm trying to look at those right now, I mean, take them, bro. Like,
he had 15 yards last week. You think they're going to let that happen again?
I mean, look, I don't think so.
Masterclass coming.
I'm telling you. So I'm gonna look up Luther Burton's props real quick, but Sam, tell me how you're feeling about this one.
Told you I was coming with stats for this one. Okay. Spencer Rattler home road splits this year: 86% completion percentage, 10-1 TD to INT at home. On the road, 59% completion percentage, 1-3 TD to INT. Yeesh. That's a 27-point drop off. That's unbelievable. He's bad on the road, and I think Vegas has this total wrong again. Like, I got it at 60 earlier this week. I saw it at 59 yesterday. I don't know what people are thinking. Like, South Carolina's defense is atrocious. They're so bad. And Missouri's susceptible to giving up points. Like, Spencer Rattler's not been good on the road, but I still think they get 21 in this game.
Yeah.
Like, I think Missouri puts up over 40. I've got 2 plays on this one. I've got the over, whatever number it is, as long as it's under 63, which it should be still. Take it. I've got Missouri minus 7.5. I think they kill them. So,
yeah, I'm leaning towards that way with the spread. I really think that I don't love 7.5, but at the end of the day, I think this is a 2 possession game at the end of the game. They have South Carolina's team total at 24.5, which is a little bit enticing, but don't know if they get all the way there. So I'm gonna go ahead and make it official. This is, I guess, a mental talk it out for me. I'm rolling with you. I got Mizzou 7.5 as well. Again, I think Luther is going to go crazy. Listen to this. His receiving prop is at 102.5. Okay. 102.5 at -114. But I
Take it.
agree with you. I think it's going over. Like I don't see anybody on this South Carolina secondary being able to do anything with that guy. Okay. He's probably the best receiver in the SEC right now. Not going coming out obviously next year, but I think he's that
Whoa,
guy,
whoa, whoa,
man.
whoa,
I
whoa, whoa,
really
whoa,
do.
whoa,
So,
whoa, whoa, whoa.
oh yeah,
Let's
yeah.
let's walk back what you just said there.
I knew you were gonna say
You think I'm gonna let that one slide this morning?
I was throwing the bait out there. I was throwing the bait out there. See if you caught it. I was throwing it out there.
Next
But
year you could get away with that. I don't know about this year.
I feel you. I feel you. Fair enough. Fair enough. And y'all supporting the troops this week. So I mean, I can't say anything bad about LSU, even though y'all about to beat the troops down. But you know what I'm saying? Supporting the troops with the camo.
Respectfully, beat the
Yes.
troops down.
Yes, respectfully. You know what I'm saying? With honor. We'll need the ball at the end of the game. No Miami. All right. Um, but we'll go, I guess, now that we're 30 minutes in. Again, if you are watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Twitter, please go over to the YouTube if you want us to see your comments, because we want to post your comments. We want to see how y'all are feeling. We ain't got no comments today. So somebody pull up to the YouTube. All right. The link is in the description on Twitter at Pay for Play, and pull up with a comment. All right. We're on the last game. So we want to see. But I have a talk it out, another talk it out. And it's Penn State and Ohio State. Everybody has been waiting for this matchup, maybe more for the Penn State side than the Ohio State side, just because they had Notre Dame, and they kind of got to see how they fared against one of the more upper echelon teams in the country. But to be honest with you, I don't have a lot of confidence in Penn State in this matchup. I think I heard, and if I botch this statistic, please, forgive me. But I don't think that Drew Aller has completed many deep balls. I think he's only completed like 1 or 2 passes of 20 air yards all season. So yes, is Penn State's defense really good? I think Kalen King is obviously going to be a first-round NFL talent. I don't think that's even a question. Their edges are going to be damn near dominant against the Ohio State offensive line. That is a little shaky to me. But I just can't see myself taking Penn State in this matchup, Sam. I just can't. So right now I'm on Ohio State minus the 4.5. Obviously, we're rating on Travion Henderson news. I'm gonna see if I can get anything with that, but I still think that it's kind of a one that's similar to last year, where it may be close for the beginning stages, and then you'll see an Ohio State outburst. So, how are you feeling about this one?
I'm gonna factor in some like outside impact on the game. It makes absolutely no sense, but it's a fact that whenever Josh Pate, we love Pate State here on this program, whenever he's been at a
Oh, did we lose Sam? Oh no, did we lose him? Damn, I think we lost my boy Sam. Hold on, let me make sure. Let me make sure on the broadcast it's lost too. My bad. Sorry, y'all. Technical difficulties. Let me see if we can re-add Sam real quick. Let's see if we can re-add him. But yeah, man. For everybody still watching, it's just difficult, man, for me to go with Penn State. I think that Marv is gonna have a big game. Oh, here's Sam is. There we go. Sorry.
my bad
They
Wi-Fi
assassinated
issues.
you. All right. So you were saying about Josh Pate?
Last 5 games he's gone to have come down to the last play.
Ooh. Wow.
Washington last week, the Red River rivalry 2 weeks
Mm,
ago. Like Notre Dame, Ohio State, every game he's gone, or just about every game he's gone to this year has come down to the last play.
mm,
I'm taking Penn State plus 4.5. I think this is two top 10 defenses. I think I don't think either's really been tested. I don't know that either offense is like the best that this team will play all year. So
mm,
I'd lean under. I think it's back and forth one possession. I don't believe in Penn State to necessarily uh, win this game just because James Franklin isn't good in these kinds of games.
mm-hmm.
But Penn State plus 4.5 is an official play. I think this one is decided by a field goal late. Um, but my most confident play, I believe, is first half under 21.5.
Okay. All right. I like that. I like that. Yeah, I think this is going to be a defensive game back and forth. I wish this was a night game, to be honest with you, because I think it would be a little bit more interesting, but it is what it is. I mean, it happens. I think, like I said, Travion Henderson is going to be my big key. Maya Williams is obviously going to play in his replacement if he does not play, and I think Maya Williams is really good too. He had a good game late in the game last year for them as well in this matchup. So I think they'll be okay. Marv is going to be Marv, man. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Emeka is a game time decision as well. I think he plays though. I think this is one of those games where they know that they could potentially solidify
Dog
the
is
2 spot.
the dogs are speaking to me right
Oh, they're
now.
speaking. Oh Lord.
I think it's a sign.
Oh no. Oh
Dogs
Lord.
speaking to me right now.
Oh Lord. Oh my God. I feel bad now that I'm on Ohio State. Sorry, but this is how I'm feeling. You know what I'm saying? I think I have one. I think I have one dog, so she'll be happy about that. But overall, for this matchup, I still got to go Ohio State. That 4.5. I wouldn't take it up at all. Like I wouldn't take it down at all. I think this line is exactly where it's going to be. And like you said, it might calm down to the end of the game, and hopefully, if it's a tie game, we get a touchdown so we can cover. Maybe, but I don't know. Maybe we'll see what happens. But we've made it through all of our scheduled games. We'll go ahead and get into the plays for the day. Sam, as always, you can start, my brother.
All right. We had a great week last week. I said at the beginning of the show, I'm not going to shy away from that. We're going to try to keep it rolling. We'll recap the ones that we have so far. Penn State plus 4.5. First half under in that game, 21.5. Tennessee plus 8.5. Mizzou minus 7.5. Over 59 in that game. And then Utah plus 7. We're also going to go Oregon minus 20. Think they bounce back in this spot. Washington State put up 6 points on Arizona last week. Arizona. Oregon's got a great defense. I think they bounce back. I'm a little worried about some backdoor cover in this game, depending on how Cam Ward plays. But I feel confident that Oregon's going to be able to keep this close to above that number throughout the game. Michigan team total over 34.5. After what happened last year in the tunnel in this matchup, I don't feel good about what's about to happen to Michigan State. I know all the stuff going around. They're cheaters and everything. They probably have some signs, so I think they'll be able to push this. I think they score 40 in this one. Like they're not going to try to slow up or anything. I think they try to reestablish the big brother, little brother in this matchup. LSU first half minus 18.5. Don't love the full game total because troops, respectfully. I don't know. I don't know what LSU's offense is like. They might pull up early third quarter. I think they'll be able to kind of control the line of scrimmage. I understand the defense hasn't been great this year, but they've improved. And against teams that they've played that have been very run heavy, they've really shown up, and the defense hasn't allowed too much. Like Mississippi State, they looked really good. They only allowed 14 points, and one was a garbage time score at the very end of the game. Against Auburn last week, they only gave up 18. I respect the troops, but it's this isn't who they're used to playing. So like
No.
they're not used to seeing a Mason Smith across the line of scrimmage
Yeah.
from them. So yeah, I think LSU is going to be able to pull away, but I'm taking the first half number. I think they go into halftime like 24-3, something like that. So, Tulane team total over 41. North Texas defense is trash. I think Tulane's going to be able to pick their number. Michael Pratt's playing well. And so I'm taking that team total over 41.5. Going with some Jordan-Hare magic. Auburn plus 6.5. Don't feel good about it, but something about Jordan-Hare, man. Like, Auburn's a completely different team at home. They've been that way for like the last decade. So it's Hugh Freeze's first game against Ole Miss. I think Jordan-Hare is going to be rocking. They got a good opponent coming into town. And Ole Miss usually finds a way to slip up. And I think Auburn's able to keep it close, you know. Like, they're just a completely different team when they're in that building. And so I'm going to side with it. Then I got Texas-Houston over 61. This is kind of like a Red River shootout. I think Texas doesn't like that Houston got into the Big 12. I know they tried to keep them out for so long, and like this is just one last let's kick some ass before we leave the conference. So I think their offense will be rolling. Houston's defense isn't really good. They gave up, what was it, like 38 to West Virginia. And Texas, I think Houston will be able to put up some points. Get this, it's only a low 60 total, so give me that over 61. And then Nebraska minus 11 against Northwestern. Northwestern is not a good football team. I think Nebraska's defense will be able to keep them to a very low score, and it's only 11. So yeah, give me that number.
Okay. All right. Well, look, I mean, let's backtrack a little bit to have a mini talk it out with this Ole Miss and Auburn game, okay? Because this line has not moved. If anybody's been watching this week, this line has not moved 1 inch, okay? It's been 6.5 all week from Sunday until right now.
I don't have stats, but I guarantee it's been peppered. Ole Miss. All week.
Yeah, for sure. My thing with Auburn is they cannot throw the ball. They can't throw the ball at all. And it makes me a little bit scared that a team as prolific as Ole Miss, you know, with throwing the ball. Jackson Dart has looked good. Maybe not as good on the road as he has at home, but he's looked pretty good in some spurts. I don't know. I'm confused about this line just as much. I might want to take the over. Auburn's team total is at 24.5, but the under is at minus 130. So that kind of tells you all you need to know. Coming off the butt whipping that y'all gave them last week, which I told people, do not be worried about LSU against Auburn, bro. That was easy money. Like that, don't worry about that. They'll beat their ass. I kind of am feeling the same vibe with Ole Miss, even though it's at Jordan-Hare. I'm not gonna lie. Now, I do give some credence that it is a night game, so it is going to change things up a little bit. But if I had to lean anything, I might lean the over. You know, maybe you get more of a better offensive performance.
No.
Hold on. There we go. All right. So, yeah, they're trying to kick us off the stream. So let me go ahead and get my plays. I happen to be in FanDuel territory, so I am going to go ahead and give some of my FanDuel plays and odds. I do have a 2-leg parlay ski. Okay, not used to giving parlays out on this show, but I do feel pretty confident about Ohio State. I got it at 5.5 here, but I'll take it to 4.5. And then the Alabama first half spread at 4.5 as well. That is plus 278. So put a little change on that. Might have a good dinner tonight. Again, like I said, or if you want to bet them separately, Ohio State on the spread, and then Alabama first half. Then I'm going to Washington. I'm got their team total over 43.5 points. If they can score 36 points on that Oregon defense, Arizona State, sorry, buddy. All right, you're gonna get waxed. All right, and Michael Penix is increasingly, jumping over every Heisman candidate that there is at this point. Like, I don't think there's any other answer other than him, barring any injury or anything catastrophic, which of course we don't pray for. So I'm taking him, of course, and his squad. I'm going with you as well. I'm going with the over on South Carolina and Mizzou. Think this number is a little too low. I could see it barely getting over, like maybe 59 or maybe 60, but I think 57 is too low, way too low. So give me that over. I personally also took Luther Burden over 102 receiving yards. I mean, like I said, South Carolina's defense is bad, bro. It's really bad. And for his receiving prop to be over 100 for a college player, just tells you all you need to know. Brady's going to try to find him. So that's what I plan to see this week. So those are our plays. Short list for me, short CVS for receive for Sam. But like you said, we're
This
going for
one my longest of the year.
yeah, we're going for the heat check, baby. All right. We're positive, both positive last week. We've earned you money. We're both back in the positive. So why not have a good week in week 8? Obviously, we have some huge matchups coming next week. If I can find a Florida fan I can stand, I'll have them come on the show. But that's kind of like it's just like a double negative. It's not gonna happen.
I might veto that one. I can't stand any of them. So
yeah, I can't stand any of them either. But maybe we'll see. But like I said, pay for play. Please, please, please subscribe and like. All right, like this video. Subscribe to our Win the Day YouTube channel. Please, please, please give us a follow at Pay for Play on Twitter. Follow Sam. His ad is right there in his name at Dumb Brain Picks. Follow me at The Players Ball. That's my podcast. Please follow that. We're coming back soon. Don't worry. And also follow me at Roddy404. Week 8, only 5 more weeks left, man. It's sickening, but we're gonna finish out the season strong. We're in mid-season form at this point, and yeah. And Sam, you got anything before we head out of here?
no, I mean, I heard it at the beginning of the season. You only get a finite amount of football seasons in your life. Enjoy every week. Doesn't matter that I know we fly through it every year, but just enjoy every week. We're finally in fall weather. Nice crisp in the air here in Indiana. Going to be a good Big Ten matchup this morning. Enjoy the rest of the season. We got good matchups coming just about every week going forward. So lock in with us. Hopefully we get some winning streaks going. Stay on the hot streak, and everybody have a good day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, man. We'll talk to y'all next week. Cocktail party time, baby. But until then, we'll holla. Peace.